I think now is a uniquely great opportunity to look at the housing issues that the country faces in far more depth and in a far more joined up way than I think we've looked at previously. Almost harking back to the Bourneville Conference back in 1901 and how they addressed it as a new movement, a revolution effectively in housing to take us forward. And let's be honest, that led to the Garden City movement, it led to the New Towns Act and the New Towns. It really was fundamental in shaping housing development in the 20th century. I think the thing that drives me most at Treglown and what really impresses me about them as an organisation is the focus on people, it's the focus on placemaking, it's the focus on social value, and it's the integration of all the design services to create those places where people genuinely want to live and live for a long time and genuinely get the local community involved in that process. I think there's a statistic around, and one of the things we're looking at as an organisation are different ways of procuring housing on the small and the large scale. One of the things that's a possibility, and I think has some real potential for the future, is something called custom build, which is a government initiative, but at the moment isn't delivering the sort of numbers that it could potentially do. And that gets people heavily involved with their homes at an early stage. But when people get involved with their own homes at an early stage like that, their tendency to stay in that community goes from something like 7 years to 20 years. And that's a really important way of helping to create place. I think the other opportunity for us all at this current moment of time, why this conversation is important to have in place, is the opportunity to integrate smart cities, the integration of technology, of data management, the Internet of Things, how that feeds back then into the management of our resources and our assets and the infrastructure that we have around us. How we then integrate that with our existing settlements, how we take it forward, how we create flexibility going forward so that we don't get polarised places where people live, how we can make this work in terms of a sense of place and not just a sense of cyberspace. And whether the next Ebenezer Howard will actually come from the world of IT and work with us creatively to create these very, very special smart cities of the future.